Got a little limp.
I got a little.
Not trying to be like walk with a limp to be cool.
I'm
literally can't walk.
I'm gimping around right now. It's all bad.
Yeah, you're playing hurt.
Yeah. The Spurs are back.
Still taking Canty.
And I'm not talking about San Antonio.
Oh, yikes.
I'm fascinated by them, too. If you're not going to go all in for KD, there's an argument to trade De'Aaron Fox already.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. You're going to take Dylan Harper and you have Steph Castle? I mean, somebody has to come off the bench. You can get away with that for 1 year. You can't get away with that for more than 1 year.
If you knew the lottery was going to fall the way that it did, would you have traded for De'Aaron Fox? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's something.
De'Aaron Fox feels like a piece that's expendable. He feels like a guy that they could move around.
Unsportsmanlike is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com for more information.
I mean, 1 year left on that deal?
Yeah, I don't think you can extend them with the 2 guards you now have.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
So, over the weekend at Fanatics Fest here in New York City, Caleb Williams was part of a panel with C.J. Stroud and other quarterbacks, and he was asked about the Green Bay Packers and the fans at Lambeau, and said that Packers fans suck. Before we go any further, Michelle Smallman, you are one of those Packer fans. Your reaction to a guy that I don't think you've hated on at all. I think you've said specifically, I hope he finds his way, and he seems like a good person. But now they suck, Packers fans. Have your thoughts at all changed here on Caleb?
No, I love that Caleb Williams did this because rivalries are what makes sports great. A healthy hatred is what makes sports great. And Bears-Packers is one of the best rivalries that we have, not only in the NFL, but in all of sports. So I very much appreciate Caleb Williams leaning into this. Now, with that being said, you know what sucks? Getting sacked 68 times. You know what sucks? Holding on to the ball too long. That contributes to you getting sacked 68 times. You know what sucks? Not winning a Super Bowl in almost 4 decades. They haven't won a Super Bowl since I've been alive. You know what sucks? Not having a 4,000-yard passer in your franchise's history. So, Caleb, you can say all you want about Packers fans and the fact that we suck, but you better back it up on the field. Because guess what? We were in the playoffs last year, and you celebrated beating the Packers at the end of the season like it was the playoffs.
Just a fan rule question. If a player says that a fan group sucks, is that a compliment?
Because they feel something, it elicits emotion.
So the Chargers for you were the most blah team in the NFL for a while, right?
Yeah, they were the personification of meh.
Okay, meh, sorry. Would anyone say Chargers fans suck?
I don't know any.
Okay. So is that actually a compliment to you as a Packer fan? By him saying that Packers fans suck, they're so loud, they're so rambunctious, they're so all over it, and they don't let up that, hey, you know what? They're actually really good. Is that a compliment?
Sure.
Okay.
It's a compliment, but it's a compliment. It's complimented Jace because, yeah, of course you're going to think Packers fans suck because you want to get where they are, and they're going to remind you of it all the time. They're going to remind you of your lack of success, not only individually, but as a collective all the time. If you want them to suck less, then you better go out there on the field and do something about it.
I don't know how true that is because I always thought that the Eagles fans sucked, and before I got done playing, the Eagles hadn't won a championship, so there was nothing to envy Philadelphia pro football about. Nothing at all.
Now it's certainly different.
Now it's certainly a little bit different, but still, they only got half the championships of the New York Giants catch up. But I'm just saying, I don't know if that's accurate in every situation, as it's a compliment to say that a fan base sucks.
So the flip side is, if you're listening to us right now in Chicago on ESPN 1000, and you hear about these comments, as they've been talked about for days, obviously, are you cheering along with Caleb Williams? Or are you saying, what are you doing? Why are you putting more pressure on yourself now? Because now you're going to go big with the 1-0 at Lambeau. Like, we know that beating the Packers is a must-win, but, like, now it's a must win. Like, you just went a little – did you go a little too far? Too much pressure?
He did not go too far, and here's why. What's the storyline about Caleb Williams heading into this season? That he didn't want to be there at the outset. What's a good way to endear yourself to your fans? By saying that Packers fans suck.
That's true. If you're
it's
a
very
Chicago
smart
athlete,
business move. It's a smart PR move.
if you're a Chicago athlete, talk about how great MJ is, talk about how terrible the Packers are, and tell us you like deep dish pizza. That's your big three. Right?
They don't claim deep dish.
Yeah, tavern style pizza.
Yeah, we learned that.
All right, whatever the style is that you like. But There's no extra pressure because of these comments from Caleb?
Oh, no, there's extra pressure. You are doing what you need to do in order to get your fan base behind you. That's a smart move, but you've got to back it up.
Yeah.
You've got to back it up. Not only do you need to go out there and beat the Packers now that you're saying things like this, but you need to get to the playoffs. You need to get on the same level as the guy that was drafted behind you, and Jayden Daniels. There was already an inordinate amount of pressure on him just because of where he was drafted. And that doesn't take into account the fact that his coach got fired and he campaigned for Ben Johnson and they went out and got him. That doesn't take into account all the pieces that they put around him in order for him to have success. He has got so much pressure on him heading into year 2, which may be unfair, but that's what happens when you come into the league with a certain set of expectations around you.
Completely agree on everything you said, Smalls. Evan, I got to ask you a question before I give you an answer. How do you define success for Caleb Williams this year?
No noise, 9 and 8 or better, similar touchdown interception ratio, less sacks, specifically because of your decision making.
Okay.
I'm not worried about.
Okay, so all right, that's fair.
Is that fair?
That's good. That's
Okay.
a good start. So if Caleb Williams doesn't accomplish those things, if he's not successful this year, what are you pointing to as the blame or the reason why he can't have success?
So I may come up with a preemptive excuse, but I look at this as year 1 for him because it's year 1 with Ben Johnson. I think they're just going to eliminate anything that happened next year. So I think I'm not trying to punt on the question. I'm saying that I think he'll still get another year, and it'll just be because this is how I could see Bears fans spinning it this way. Well, now that he has a coach, it's going to be a longer runway in terms of understanding all of the stuff that Ben Johnson's going to ask you to do. Jared Goff got Ben Johnson deeper into his career to be that level of greatness. That you're not going to just sit there and say, okay, in year 1, can you handle all of that? Can anyone handle all of that? I'm not, whoever it may be. Could Tom Brady handle Ben Johnson in essence year 1? Probably not. And he's Tom Brady. So I think that would be the excuse, is that it's actually year 1 and not year 2 for him. That may not be fair.
That would be the reason why they can't be 9 and 8.
What would you say?
No, I'm sitting here looking at it. You could blame the coach situation, right? But then that ultimately comes back on the quarterback. Because at some point, it can't be the coach's fault. You blame Matt Eberflus. Now you're blaming it on Ben Johnson year 1. How many times are we going to allow the same player to use the same excuse across different people?
No doubt.
So that's why I say this is an offseason where the Chicago Bears as an organization have eliminated all the excuses for Caleb Williams. It's about him going out and balling. So to that end, Smalls, whether he boos the Packers fans or not, that's not going to do a damn thing to take any of the pressure off him. They traded for 2 starting offensive linemen. They signed one of the best centers in football in free agency. They fortified that offensive line group. That is a good offensive line unit. He's got a good